welcome to No Enemies Here, the show where you get the news that you need. Because who wants to hear the other news anyways? You know what's a great day today? I had the day off. I smoked a pipe with one of the Fokker Circus guys, Gilbert Toastavang. We had a blast of a time. Great time. And he suggested that we get the whole gang together. So, Carl, we're going to have to get together. FaceTime or something. Because airplane tickets are too expensive. I got some good news, too. Remember, I wanted to start a show once called Game Pitch or something, and I started it, and look, a lot of complications, my time, everybody else's time, organization, logistically, and all that. You know, sometimes my eyes are bigger than my mouth. Actually, no, my mouth is pretty big. But what I wanted to say is, remember there was a game called Warline, by Justin D. Langang. Well, it's funded. Remember Volko and I think David had comments and all that. He took everything they said, mushed it up in his head, and you know what? Maybe I made a little bit of a difference, this and that, but it's funded, man. It's a Kickstarter thingy, funded, beautiful. Congratulations, Justin. I'm glad I was part of the whole shebang. That's just a lot of fun. It's great when stuff like this happens. Well, we got the whole gang here except Kilroy and Dave, the punk rocker of Wargame Institution. Dave, being a new papa, he just got off parental leave and he's going back to work, so it's hard. It's a hard road to climb after you've relaxed. He just had a new baby. What did he relax? He's probably happy to get back to work in terms of relaxing. Because any of you out there who've had children, you know, it's a full-time job. It's like owning... I'm not going to say anything, because anything I ever say could be misconstrued. So, Ricardo's in the house. Did I get anything from Wojennik this week? I should have got something from Wojennik. I'm going to have to get back to my email and chat. I got something from Wojennik. Wojennik is there. So Wojennik's in the house. Ricardo's in the house. I don't know where KilRoyWasHere, and life seems to be very cushy for him. Man, he just sent me an email. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Remember that movie with John Candy, if I'm not mistaken? It happened to him. Anything that could go wrong, went wrong. When everything was fine... when everything was over and done with, the last thing you had to do was grab an Uber and go back home. His Uber got caught by the cops. Got stopped by the cops. But anyways, I swear to God, I thought only things like that happened to me. I'm glad there's another jester in town. Don't forget to vote for the CSRs. Vote. That's all I gotta say is vote. And I'm gonna be putting all this together. And it's gonna take a couple of months, and then I should and will, because I'm gonna force myself to have it out by November 11th. And you're gonna say, yeah, but November 11th's far away. Give it a shot. Also, Levian Campaign Series San Diego HistCon is happening today, because I'm filming Friday, so I gotta think we're Saturday. Today it's happening. So, go out there, go talk to the genius that is Volko, because seriously, and I rib these guys sometimes, on the shows, on In Conversation, or whatever he's on, and sometimes, I always apologize after, I hope you didn't take anything I said that the heart doesn't act. They're all good gents, like David Thompson, for God's sakes, man, do I rib that guy? Another genius, you know what I mean? Simplicity. There's genius in simplicity. Have a good show. Don't forget to vote for the CSRs. Go check out San Diego HistCon. And play games, man. I should take my own advice.
Hello, this is Riccardo Masini, and it's time. The greatest day in history and games is June 4th, 1942. The day when a surprise attack at Pearl Harbor was finally avenged. The day of the Battle of Midway. To tell the story of the day that changed the balance of World War II in the Pacific, we must get back to 1 month earlier and many miles eastward, getting to the Battle of the Coral Sea. After his initial but not so decisive success at Pearl Harbor, the Japanese Empire dutifully proceeded to establish its own strategic perimeter in continental Asia and the eastern portion of the Pacific Ocean. Wake Island, Singapore, the Dutch East Indies, the Philippines and many other British and American possessions had fallen under Japanese control. Also, Australia was threatened, and it was only after a great battle of the Coral Sea that the southern continent could be considered safe, at least for the moment. In that battle, the first 2 air and sea engagement between great fleet carriers, the US Navy lost the carrier USS Lexington and got the USS Yorktown badly damaged as well. So damaged that the Japanese deemed her sunk, or at the very least out of combat for many months. Japanese Commander-in-Chief Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, however, knew that time was not on his side. He desperately wanted to force the US Navy into a gigantic battle, just like the old Battle of Tsushima, where the previous generation of Japanese sailors had vanquished the great Russian Baltic Fleet, effectively ending the Russo-Japanese War with an amazing victory for the imperial throne. So he devised a daring plan, a multi-pronged general offensive across all the Pacific seaboard, up from the Orleans Island to Australia, but these would be just diversions. The real attack would come into the middle of the ocean, against the remote but strategic American base situated in the Midway Atoll. The powerful Kido Butai, the combined strike force of the 4 best carriers in the Navy, would be employed. The Imperial Navy could count on the Kaga, Akagi, Hiryu and Soryu, but crucially not on Shokaku and Zuikaku, out of service after the Battle of the Coral Sea. But even just those 4 carriers were considered enough to bomb the island into submission in anticipation of a great naval infantry landing. The attack, thought Yamamoto, would force the Americans and their 2 remaining operational carriers in the Pacific, Enterprise and Hornet, to come out of Pearl Harbor and finally accept a direct confrontation. The plan, even if a bit complex, seemed perfect and failure-proof, as all the extensive Japanese war games had proven time and time again. All except one, where a junior officer changed the rules, postulating that the Americans would be aware of the new attack and would already be present with their 2 carriers near Midway, ready to ambush the Japanese ships. The result would be a disaster. 3 out of the 4 Kido Butai carriers would be sunk. Admiral Matome Ugaki, however, embarrassed for such a pungent observation by a junior officer, deemed this result highly unlikely, and the operation went on unchanged. On June 4th, Japanese would discover the magnitude of their mistakes. Surprisingly, the American carriers would actually be near Midway waiting for them thanks to the interception and deciphering of the Imperial Naval Codes. But most of all, Enterprise and Hornet would be accompanied by a third American carrier, the hastily repaired but somewhat operational USS Yorktown. We all know what happened next, also masterfully depicted by 2 great war movies, one filmed in 1976 and another one much more recently in 2019. The Imperial Navy would lose all 4 carriers of the Kido Butai, while the US Navy would be finally deprived of the valorous Yorktown. And the balance on the war in the Pacific will definitely change, while Admiral Yamamoto had to present his personal apologies to the Emperor for this devastating defeat. This episode has been represented by many wargames, but today I want to present a card wargame, Lightning Midway. Part of the Great Lightning historical card game series by Dan Versen and published by Decision Games, Midway, just like all the other titles in the series, uses an original system to depict the essential dynamics of the battle. Detection of the enemy fleet position and composition, arming and rearming of the different squadrons, a general use of the calculated risk principle in your combat tactics. The game is fast, full of historical details and, of course, highly portable. It is also full of tension, however, since a clever change in gameplay by your opponent could easily throw you off balance, leaving you with your ships full of rearming plays at the mercy of a couple of enemy squadrons suddenly appearing over the horizon. And where is your fighter cover when you need it? Personally, I own this game since so many years and have played it so many times, but even today I find it not just one of the best in this particular series, but one of the best card wargames I've ever seen. So, that's it for this time. See you on the next battlefield. Ciao!
Today I wanted to do it close and personal, so you're gonna get a behind the scenes in front of the scenes anchor type thing. So here we go, man. So here we go. This is the reviews, the unboxings, and the thingies that I show on No Enemies here. Excuse me. So we have Jan Heinemann from Let's Play History, and he's doing Nachbesprechung number 28. Let's play Flashpoint campaigns versus Nikki. All this on Let's Play History. And from the people of Little Wars TV, 6mm scale 7 Pines Wargame. You see, when I screw up on video, I mean on audio, you don't see my face like all contorted. Now it's all in fun, you know what I'm saying? Little Wars TV this week. We also have Lock and Load Publishing. We have 3 videos this week. It's not very normal of them to put out 3 videos in a shot. We have a memorial remembrance of 2022, obviously, and Point Blank V is for Victory Production Printing number 2, and Enemy at the Gates DLC Battle Pack release for Lock and Load Digital. We also have from Marco Omni Gamer a Worthington Publishing Game 1565 Siege of Malta review. And from the guy who looks like a vampire, don't tell me this guy don't look like a vampire, Mark Felton of Mark Felton Productions has 2 videos out this week. The first one is World War II Allied Firearms in German Service. Well, obviously, you nailed the guy. So you got no more bullets, you pick up the gun and you go. What's the big whoop? But anyways, and Pickelhaube, Pyramids, World War I's Strangest Monuments. Alright, if you say so myself. I mean, if you say so myself, what the hell is that, you see? Also on Matt White, the war game designer and artist, does Napoleon's Wheel Battle of Schoengraben After Action Report. And we go on to Mauro Faina with a poop load of videos. He's at Johnny Zero Nero is at the San Marino convention, and if you've ever seen what San Marino looks like, anyways, I mean, if you've ever seen what Italy looks like close up, it's gorgeous. And they're there and they do stuff like that, and we do stuff in hotels, but their hotels are different. And he talks about Army Group Center, and he's live a couple of times, always talking about Army Group Center, and he finishes off episode 75 of Il Gianni Zero Nero with Army Group Center, a game by GMT. Memoirs of World War II, Impossible to Forget D-Day 78 years later, on Memoirs of World War II. I watch these shows, sometimes there's veterans on it, and I mean, and you look at them and some of them are frail, and they weren't frail back then, let me tell you, they were badass. On Mo's Game Table, he does Compass Games Learn to Play 12, Enemy Action Kharkov, a game by John Butterfield. On Patrick's Tactics and Tutorials, 2 videos this week, Command and Colors Ancients, 415 Carthage, and Combat Commander Stalingrad, a campaign. That cuddly guy, Rough Swordsman Wargamer, has 2 videos. 2 videos, I'm surprised. Usually he only puts out 1 because he's a busy man being a musician. He does a playthrough of Malta Besieged, a setup and beginning of Epoch 1, a game by Worthington Publishing, and Rough and Blue Livestream. He does Atlantic Chase, a Mike Bertolucci game, of course. I have to have him on. I keep saying I want to interview this guy. That's not a Mike Bertolucci game, it's a Jerry White game. Scratch that. GMT's Atlantic Chase, Part 2. You see it live, the mistakes, live. And Seek Out and Play takes a beautiful game and shows its beauty with his neutral camera thingies. Sekigahara, a Matt Culkin, if I'm not mistaken. It's a GMT game. He shows us the movement rules, and I'm gonna look at this because I want to play Sekigahara, and I want to get one of my friends into it, and he doesn't seem to want to get into it. But this is supposedly an easy game with lots of strategy. You know, it's like the piano. It's easy to learn, hard to master, whatever. And we got the Sokcho Submarine Incident. This is a fishing boat versus North Korean submarine, South Korea, 1998, on Simple History. Stephen Dolges ranking the Dark and Deadly series game, the Ted Racer series, so he ranks them. He says here, after reviewing all of the games in the Dark Deadly series, he takes the time to rank them. Of course, they are all great games, and let him know what you think. STUKAJOE, the monster that is STUKAJOE. He's doing Monday live clipping session. Clipping and setting the counters of the first Ukrainian front for Kherson 2. Little Stalingrad on the Dnieper, a game designed by Jack Ratty and to be published by Pacific Rim Publications. That guy that is called 6 Actual does 2 videos this week, a man-to-man World War II in 4K, Soldiers, and Send in the Marines on Red Storm, Baltic Approaches, an unboxing. And Combat Board Games, I like Combat Board Games. He's unboxing Pacific Fury Guadalcanal, 1942, designed by Yasushi Nakaguro. A game published by Revolution Games, obviously. And, you know what? Lionheart Filmworks. This is exceptional historical films and documentaries. Check them out, that's very cool. 4 videos this week. The Civil War in Maryland, a region divided. Also, American uniforms in World Wars, the Evolution, drab, khaki, and green. Also, Gold Rush Fever, 1849 in California, IA. And Vietnam, 50 Years Remembered, Parts 13. And we move on to Riccardo Mazzini, the Professor. 5 videos out on his Warlog. He does Heroes of Normandy, an introduction, on the table, and the conclusion. All this is in Italian for our Italian listeners. And he does Heroes of Normandy in English. The guy's amazing, man, I swear to God. And a micro Warlog, Napoleon, 1815. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is a Worthington Publishing game. Again, take it easy, sit back, go to Sci-Fi Central, movies, series, and documentaries, right? So Sci-Fi Central this week, having 640,000 subscribers, has 5 videos. Colonies Already on the Moon, Secret Society, A Secret History, The Making of America. If there isn't enough, what do you call them, conspiracies. Flying Over the North and South Poles. Also, Elysium, full movie animated action. You know what I'm saying? And Martian Land, full movie action sci-fi horror. I'm gonna check that out tonight. And Root Marauder expansion, how to play on the Board Game Chronicles. On the Discriminating Gamer, Cody has 3 videos out this week. Number 11 of his Cody's Game Shelf. How many games this guy got? Plus Cody's top 10 Fantasy Flight games. And he checks out John Paniski's game published by GMT Plains, Indian Wars. And this is happening, the 3 Days of Gettysburg, Herman Luttman, A Most Fearful Sacrifice on the Oaken Night. And check out the Oaken Night. Love his voice, love his introduction. A very PBS, Vermontish kind of vibe. Love it. And the Gentleman of the Player's Aid, 3 videos, an unboxing of C3I's number 35 from Roger B. McGowan Studios, and a review of Point Blank V is for Victory from Lock and Load, a game designed by Sean Drulinger, and unboxing Corrupt Bargain from Decision Games. On GIMPY! On the GIMPY Gamer, Heroes of Normandy, Battle for Cannes. This is a Kickstarter, and Gimpy's Gal guesses 2 videos of the Gimpy's Gal guesses. She tries to guess A Most Fearful Sacrifice and NATO. Gimpy has another video called Core Space Firstborn Part 3. Don't leave. We'll be back after this short message. See? You see how cool this is? I always wanted to be like Ted Baxter. You know what I'm saying? Also, on Bare Bones Wargaming, the last show. I did some sad news. I like Bare Bones. As the title says, Tim Korchnoi says, this is the end for at least a while, but perhaps for good. Well, Bare Bones, we have the same anniversary, the same day we started our shows. You were going on a 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, too. No, you just on the same day started a show that I've started. My friend, good luck. Thanks for all the content that I could have put up, that you helped me make my show. I hope I see you again, man. Good luck. And on Tony's board life, we have PGs, I should say, Avalanche, Panzer Grenadier from Avalanche Press, Slovakia's War, First Battle, Intro, and Turn number 1. U-Boater 658, guys, people, go and subscribe to U-Boater, man, come on. What's the matter with you guys? We got 5 videos. He puts out 5 videos, man, probably even more. You know what I'm saying? He's doing Operation Unthinkable. That are 2 episodes of Operation Unthinkable, Western Allied Attack and Western Allied Movement. Also, MacArthur's War, December 50th. An Unbattle for Seoul, Part 2. And the WDS Kriegsmarine 15, Swordfish versus the Bismarck, and back to MacArthur's War, December 50th. CCP, maybe he missed one C, but the Russians weren't involved. CCP, Enter the Dragon. Enter the Dragon. Bruce Lee, where's he from? China, figure it out. Huh? And on Wardy Roleplays World War II, 3 videos this week. Autumn for Barbarossa, MMP. This is a standard combat series. The end turn 2, Autumn for Barbarossa, end turn of number 4. And again, Autumn for Barbarossa, the end of the game. And on the cop, that is Wayne Hansen. He chats live, all about reviews. I'm curious what he's gonna say. He's an opinionated guy. And let's play Manstein's War, Decision in the West, 1940. This is a tutorial playthrough and the verdict. Manstein's War, Decision in the West, 1940, his verdict. And we go on to Zilla Blitz. This guy's a bit, it's all over the place. But he's all over the place only in 2 places, War Games and Trucks. Anyways, he does Nevsky unboxing. Don't forget about the Levian campaign thingy. SDH gone. Nevsky unboxing, GMT Games, a war game historical something something. And Trucks, man. ETS 2, Convoy, Euro Truck Simulator 2, Career. And he does it again. A crazy trucker slams car into guardrails. YouTube Gaming Channel update June 2022 concerning Zilla Blitz's channel, and a Dave Thompson game published by GMT called By Stealth and Sea, a custom campaign. He calls this episode Formidable Failure. And Artie and I were on everything you wanted to know about war games, but we're afraid to ask. This is not your regular episode. That's all I'm gonna say. You want to check it out? Check it out. You don't want to check it out? Don't check it out. You know, live and let live. What can I tell you? On ARDWULF'S LAIR, unboxing the African campaign by Compass Games. Also a OCS counter clipping evening, plus a flip through Sword Worlds Mongoose Traveler 2nd edition source book. And a look inside the Call of Cthulhu Classic 40th Anniversary Edition Kickstarter rewards. Oh no. And unboxing C3I's issue number 35 with Burma, The Forgotten War. Everything ASL from Illuminating Rounds, number 68, Something Borrowed. Something new, something borrowed. But anyways, the episode is 68 called Something Borrowed. And the Chief of Bonding with Board Games and RPGs, 3 episodes. Evil Twilight 2000, 2 episodes of that. This one is Season 1, Episode 21, Car Wars. And live interview with Waldek Gumieni, I hope I pronounced that right, designer of Race to Moscow. And Evil Twilight 2000, as I said, Season 1, Episode 22, Breach. The man famously known as Calandale, Enrico Viglino, has 15 videos out. Milosevic's Last Gamble, 1995. Gamble number 1 and the review. Gamble number 2 and rap. And then he's got Ma Women and Ma Games. I don't even want to watch that. Next, a tag sub. Remember that old game? I just got it from Matt Gannett of Stack Academy. Attack sub intro, sub duel, sub mounting the threat, and a review. Also, Amoeba Wars. That's cool. So he does Amoeba Wars intro 1, 2 in rap, and he reviews it Then he continues on another game, Talisman Intro 1 and 2. I told you he's got like 15 videos on, and I'm telling you, I cannot tell a lie. I cut the tree. Dan Versen, DVG Games, a new 45 caliber D10 bullet die video. Riveting. And Dave of Dave's Gaming Cave, 5 videos. 4 of them on Devil Boat, mission number 5. I heard some disparaging comments on this game. I don't know if it's true. I don't know what's going on. And then he does an unboxing of Enemy Action Kharkov. On Diagonal Move, 3 videos, Imperium, rules overview including solo, keywords, and something else. And he does a part 1 playthrough of Imperium and obviously part 2. On the great channel that is Epic History TV, 2 videos, I should say 1 video actually. Russia's first revolutionaries. That's right. Check it out. Look, I watched this Napoleon thing. It was epic. Also, Plains Indian Wars, a game by John Paniski, published by GMT on Gilbert Collins, my compadre, to the southwest of Quebec. I got that right. And Hex to Hex, 10 videos out, the Civil War. Hexy got a box. Also, Kernstown, parts 1, 2. Then he does Gettysburg, a special episode. Then he goes into 1, 2, 3, and 4 videos of A Most Fearful Sacrifice. That's the buzz that's going on. And he's got an American Civil War, a paint challenge video.
Hello everyone, this is Michel Leviathan Sorbet from the Polish YouTube channel Wojennik TV. Here is, as always, a quick roundup of the wargaming content that I published on Wojennik TV during the last 7 days. On last Tuesday, I released yet another video in English, and this time it was a review of a wargame, of a very interesting wargame released in the Great Battles of the American Civil War series. This was the review of Death Valley, Battles for the Shenandoah. This game was released by GMT Games a few years back, and obviously this is a game which covers the battles fought in the Shenandoah Valley during the American Civil War. So it covers both the campaigns of 1862 as well as the campaigns of 1864. This is quite a big game, a game which enables us to recreate several battles fought in the Shenandoah Valley, as well as also link them into a campaign which allows us to recreate the whole campaigns fought during the American Civil War during that period. The second wargaming video, which I released during the last 7 days, was my Polish review, released last Friday, and this was a review of a very small-scale game, a game called Surrender unto Caesar, covering the Battle of Alesia, fought in 1502 BCE. This is a very small postcard game released by LPS a few years back, covering an extremely interesting battle, the most important siege in ancient history, the Siege of Alesia in Gaul. This was obviously the turning point of the Gallic Wars, during which an army besieging Alesia, led by Julius Caesar, managed to score a decisive victory against the Gallic forces led by Vercingetorix. Extremely interesting topic. The game itself, not quite, but I decided to present it on Wojennik TV because I am trying to publish videos not only about the big, very popular war games or other types of games. I'm also covering some small-scale games which are quite unknown to the wider public. This is also one of my main objectives on my channel. So those were the 2 wargaming-related videos which I released during the last 7 days. As always, I wish you an excellent weekend, have a great gaming, and see you next time.
Video. On Hexes and Soldiers, Jason Cruz, the man famously known as AJ Toynbee. He does a live Saturday high noon showdown show and a Saturday night life card fight. All right. On History Hustle, 2 videos. Actually, 1 video. Again, same thing. Formations. Finnish Waffen SS volunteers. Eesh, they didn't like the Russians. And my favorite Frenchman, Fred Serval, does Crusade and Revolution. Rules, teach, and play with designer David Gomez Reloso. ID Jester has 10 videos out. A lot of it on baseball, 2 of them on hockey. He does a live chat with Ron Juckett, and he gives us a thank you, guys. ID Jester recently got some health news. Want to find out? Check out ID Jester's channel for more information. And respect, Jim Ozarski. Et sans résultat, 3e édition. 1809, Learning the Game Part 3. Also, another Song of War Battle System 2nd edition. This is a campaign. And the battle for Gutstadt for Shakos 2 Part 2. And the minister, that is Joel Toppin. 1 video, Burma, from the C3I magazine number 35, The Forgotten War. And for all our Spanish viewers, Julius Fairfax checks out Saladin. A lot of this stuff is written in Spanish. I'm not going to embarrass myself on video. On audio it's probably better to embarrass myself, but not on video. But the game is Saladin. And Juste Garde. 2 videos on Juste Garde, Der Weltkrieg, Romania, the Transylvanian Gambit, and a new arrival from Compass Games. Enemy action, John Butterfield, Garkov. And we have KilRoyWasHere 2 videos out. One that was previously shown on last week's No Enemies Here, Theo's Flag on Memorial Day, and a re-unboxing of a Civil War game. Kings and Generals, 4 videos. How did the sinking of Moscova impact the war? In Europe, I'm assuming. And Abd al-Rahman, father of Muslim Spain. Who financed the Great War? A World War I documentary, and the Battle of Midway, Pacific War number 28. And last but not least, Legendary Tactics. 4 videos out. A game called Cards. Algorithmic deck. His weakest deck, he calls it. And should you buy Jaws of the Lion digital? An 8 Minutes Empire, how to play. And Raiders of the North Sea, how to beat death. All this on Legendary Tactics. And we shall be right back after these fine messages. Another week, another show. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and donate to this channel. Don't forget to check out Justin Langang's Warline on Kickstarter. We showcased it here. Well, here I showcased it on a show that I called... I forget what I called it. Game Chats. Oh my god. Vote for the CSRs. Harold Buchanan's SDH Con featuring Volko Ronke. The Levian Campaign series campaign with Volko Ronke. My god. It's a ritornello. And look, I figured I'd do things different tonight. That doesn't mean it's gonna be like this next week. Who knows? I may be my swimming pool in all my glory, doing the news from then. From there, I should say. And that's it, people. The weekend's here. Even if you work, enjoy what you do. Be nice to people. Some people are not nice sometimes. And I lost my mind at a coworker. I was doing her job for 4 months. And she complains about everybody else and she slacks off. And we all do her job at different times. So, I found that out. I tolerated it like everybody else does for a little bit. But she was really belligerent with me. Really. In front of people. And it didn't stop for a good 5 minutes. She was right about what she was saying, but it's the way she was saying. She was screaming, man. And she was livid for stupidities. So, as I'm doing her job, I peek around there and she's sitting down. She's texting or looking at her iPhone. I saw black. I went up to her, and she's a bully, right? So I love bullies because they don't scare me. I'm not intimidated by bullies. I understand them, but I'm not intimidated by bullies at all. As a matter of fact, sometimes just to let out some steam, I welcome bullies. A bit weird. And I told her what it was, man. And we went into the boss's office. And the bosses have been trying to nab her for a long time. But because of my tactics and ways of doing things that day, her slouching off didn't come off. What came off is me being livid. Sometimes you gotta let it go. You know, I lost that battle, but I won the war. But that's not the point. I should not have been that in your face to her. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like bullies, man. I don't like people making fools of other people or taking advantage of other people or myself, for the matter. And I mean, she could have been taking advantage of someone else, and I probably still would have lost it. Because I just don't like those people. You understand? It always reminds me of racism, the Holocaust, like bullies, man. You know what I'm saying? And you can't reason with someone whose mind is made up because of what their parents taught them, kind of thing. You know what I mean? I mean, after 16 years old, you make up your own mind. If your parents were racist, like, what the hell is going on? You don't have to be racist because your parents were racist. You know, it's inexcusable. Inexcusable. And you don't have to be a bully because they were bullies. Inexcusable. Just be a bloody human being. You know what I mean? I'm not a religious man, but in all religions, they're man-made, obviously. Probably the first rule or whatever is do unto others what you'd like them to do unto you, man. Love thy neighbor. Shut up and be nice. God, it takes more to be an asshole than it takes to be a nice hole. If I can say that. Enough of that. It's the weekend. I'm going to have my little glass of wine. Maybe a pipe or two. Watch a movie with my loved ones. Have some popcorn. Maybe have another pipe after that. And then I'm going to go to bed. How blessed am I? I'm blessed. Have a good weekend.